Okay peeps, we're going to have to time out just now. I have ran into a multitude of issues with this. It's just that, it will not work. I've totally ran out of time. Like this is Saturday, I have tomorrow, and then I think the deadline's actually Tuesday, and I haven't even started putting the bike back together. I've just had nothing but issues. Unfortunately, the other bar is just not going to work. It's got to be this fork. Absolute problem after the next. Why would... This does not feel good. I mean, it looks a bit crazy, but I think it's going to be worse than drop bars. From my last video when I was asking you what direction we were going to go in, the drop bar, reverse drop bar, seemed to be the way to go. Now, the bike originally had a bit of like where the accessories were all polished aluminium, but it's starting to become a bit of an issue. I just can't get enough polished aluminium stuff. Albeit I could find bars that were aluminium, they were way narrower. And because we're already kind of using this like a sort of like, you know, 90s mountain bike sort of style, but then kind of going into, you know, tuck. These were the widest ones that I could actually find. So I've had to make a few changes because the stem wasn't going to do. So now what I've had to do is, this is the fork obviously, I've had to get a stem adapter which will go into there, and then this will allow us to use a regular stem. Now I've got a couple of options. So I've got this one which is quite a long stem with quite a lot of upward sweep, or I've got a shorter one with a lot less sweep. So I've got to kind of maybe have to play around with the geometry. So obviously that's going to go in there, that'll obviously go down. So we've still got the play here, but we could slam that all the way down and then use the rake of this. But this will certainly allow you, or the rider, when he goes up onto using the bar ends, he'll be able to get into a right downward position. Because I'm kind of feeling this bike is kind of turning into, not a gravel bike, but we're kind of going that way where, you know, you can be up on the handlebars, but then also getting down low for the speed. And we're changing it from a 3x to a 2x. The chain rings on the 2x are bigger. Now, I tried to find a cassette that would give us a bigger range. Like, I think, what was it in the 90s? Was it MegaRange cassette or something like that? The one that I rescued from the bike library that I showed in the last video, unfortunately, I must have counted it a million times, but we need an 8-speed, and that was actually a 9-speed, so that's not even going to fit. And I don't want to start getting into changing shifters because the other issue, well, not issue, yeah, one of the problems would be that when we're using these bars, we haven't got an awful lot of meat. Because if you think about it, because it steps into a thicker part here, the shifter and brake levers need to be here. So fortunately, the ones that actually came with the bike, which are these Shimano V-brake ones, will hopefully, well, they should be fine, because if I put them there, which is the last point, I don't know, I'm going to sort of show you, I'll still be able to get my hand in the brake lever here. So yeah, there's going to be a crossing over the cables because you're going to have one shifter there and one shifter right there. So this is going to be a bit weird looking. I mean, this is probably not going to be something that we can leave on the bike, but as a project, it's going to be a lot of fun. Right, so what I want to do is I want to get these bars cut, so at least that's done. So obviously this is going to be like normal riding position. And then the idea is you would go into like a tuck riding position. So like as if you were on drop bar, but the complete reverse. So what I need to do is I need to cut the bars. Now I don't have a vise, so I've just whacked this in one of my spare stands. And to be honest, we're just going to see. Gee. Right, let's see what we've got. Yeah, the problem is, I don't even see that, is I probably should have had it where the cut would have been more at that angle. I mean, it still fits in though. I mean, your hand will be just there. We'll need to see how that plays out when we actually try to hammer an end plug in there. Right, I've got a couple of bar ends here, but they're actually too small, so they won't, but they give you the idea. I mean, they will fit in, but I'll need to get ones the right size. Oh, it's this one here, not that it matters. Oh, no, there we go. This is not ideal. I don't even know. Shit, scratches. Right, so see what we've got going here. This is, to be honest, this is definitely going to be a showpiece because there's literally nothing on there for your hands. Probably the problem's going to be is, I don't think, yeah, I can't even close that up. Oh God, this has just gone from bad to worse. Okay peeps, we're going to have to time out just now. I have ran into a multitude of issues with this, with the reverse bull bar, as a lot of folk have been calling it. So we got to this point here. That was the stance we were going from, and I just assumed this gauge of tubing is the same as a regular set of handlebars. It's not. This is our all-in-one unit, which the only way this is going to work is that it will sit about here, and as you can see, we've got short levers, we've still got room for making all this work. Problem is, no matter how, that will not fit on there. I've tried opening up the clamp, it just won't fit. This is a different gauge, it's slightly thicker. I went down the bike library to see if I find any other all-in-one units that would slide onto here, and it's no, because they are meant for straight bars, and obviously drop bars, I mean this is new to me because I don't normally work on bikes with drop bars. They're a slightly bigger gauge and they won't go on. It's just that, it will not work. I've totally ran out of time. Making this video, I have, like this is Saturday, I have tomorrow, and then I think the deadline's actually Tuesday, but I'm working at the bike library on Monday, Tuesday, so I've got to be done by Sunday, and I haven't even started putting the bike back together. I've just had nothing but issues. The forks, I've still to put them back together. I've got all the bits here, but I need to wait. I've painted them purple. I've literally just put a matte lacquer on them, so I'm waiting for that to dry, so I can't do that today. And I need to sort out something with the bars. I really didn't want to put the standard bars back on because I feel it's a wee bit of a cop-out and I just want something a bit different. So I was down the bike library and I have come up with something a bit weird. Now I know what you're going to think, that albeit not totally unusual, but it wasn't really what we were going for. However, in the theme of reversing things, I'm thinking about what if we put the bars like that? Okay, so the idea being is you're kind of in a sort of drop bar idea down like this, but you've actually got a slightly wider distance between the ends of the bars than you do with these ones. See, they're actually a different size, you see, so they're slightly wider. But I thought if we mount these on, basically going back to using the original stem, so I can obviously get a bit of height on it as well, so we're not constantly in a doubt, because obviously with this you would be down all the time, so that could possibly this would be more like a sort of gravel bike setup. But that's kind of what I'm thinking at the moment, just to have something a bit different, and we can put standard levers and everything on here. What do you think? I don't know. I'm going to break these forks down and actually see if they can even be made to work. Right, we're going to do a little bit of crotch action now, so a little bit of copperies. for the next guy. So it probably won't be me. So I'll get sold off. Although, naturally saying that, the spike will get sold off or given away. And probably get donated back to the bike library at some point. So we're going with the 2x conversion. Just to be honest with you, we've got a we're coming away from the chrome and we're kind of going more for modernist black. So we may have to change the derailleur as well, but we'll play that when we get there. Let's get our actually do a little bit of copperies on there as well for the next guy. Go. Let's torque this up to 40. Hear that? Hear my kick, kick. That's my torque, built-in torque wrench. So plan was to go with that MegaRange cassette, but as I say, look at that. It's turned out to be a 9-speed, so that is not going to work. So what I'm going to have to do just now, because I did have a look down the bike library and I didn't see anything, I'm going to have to put the original one back on. So actually that could all do with although that does all feel nice, I'm just going to give this a wee clean. That was just a squirt of PT's foamy degreaser. Just get round all these bits. The hub's absolutely smooth as, no bother at all. So I'm not going to go rebuilding those. I don't need to. It just means the video can have more of other stuff in it. It's going at the back of the hub there. To be honest with you, I'd normally do this on the bike actually. So I don't know why I'm doing it now. Oh, I tell you what, that peaty stuff gets in your throat. Probably meant to use it outside. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Just use the brush just to even it out. I mean, the cassette will obviously drag this on when it goes on. Again, for the next guy. Right, I've got a few spacers and stuff here, so I need to watch. Right, so what we're looking for is the thin one, put it on top, and then thin one there. And that way you're not bumping it round. It goes on. Spacer. Yep, actually the spacer doesn't have, see there, notch. That goes on. Check that, looks good. Where's it? All right, notches there. There we go. And we have of course got the compression nut. There you go, kick, kick. Whoop, that is that wheel ready, and that is still holding air, no problem at all. So I know that the actual wheel and tyre are good. Got some nice little wheel caps there as well, so that's all good. Could actually, in fact, we'll put this on the bike and then we can clean it. Right, up we go. Now for the sharp-eyed, they may have noticed I have actually changed the rear derailleur. Because we're going for a kind of black look now, I just thought having a chrome derailleur, black crankset wasn't exactly going to look right. So I've changed that over, you know. And also, I've obviously still got a broken, what do you call it? Quick release, but I will get that sorted. So, yeah, that's all lovely and true. I'm reusing the original chain because, to be honest with you, it's got about 75% wear on it, which means obviously it's totally usable. And the way the build's starting to go, I just want maybe some reserve cash. I don't want to blow £10 on a chain, because obviously we have put things on that probably weren't necessary, but for the sake of bling, we've put them on, and of course they'll need to be accounted for, albeit they're not expensive things, but still, because yeah, we've already got this 2x drive chain. Oh, right, now, right, okay, this could be a problem. This is definitely going to be a problem now, because that should be about there. I don't want to put a new chain on it. Right, let's see if I've got a used chain. Right, take two. Fortunately, I had to nip away and get a new chain, and I'm already not even sure if this is going to work, because albeit longer, it's not a massive amount longer than the other one, so I don't even know. I mean, it might be enough, but it might not be enough, and I don't know where that's going to leave us. I think there's just lots of little bits just not helping this. Alright, we're alright, okay. No, I think we're good. I mean, there's a little bit of tension on it, but not a great deal. Alright, let's see if we can just... It's just more money, isn't it? It's like another £10 of the budget blown on a bloody chain that it didn't need. Alright, so... Then from the back... Oop. There, hopefully. Yep, we have a tight link, so it's not a problem. There, just get on the inside of the next one and just give it a wee twiggle. Sorry guys, I just seem to be catching everything cold. There we go. Right, actually starting to snug up. I'm not going to nick that up quite yet. Is that your rubber gasket? I'm just going to put some lithium grease down here. It might just be that it's just a little bit. Right, so let's have a feel for it, kind of roughly, if this is even going to be a thing. This might just be so bloody weird that it's just not doable. What do we think? Does that not look insanely weird? Oh, let's put this wheel on, see how we're sitting. Place, so I can get the bike on the ground. Ooh. Right, so the saddle is definitely up way too high. We'll drop this just so get a better idea, just as if it were slammed all the way down. Let's see how this is gonna feel. Oh, bloody hell, this bike is huge. Oh, do you know, this does not feel good. Honestly, I don't know what size this frame is, but I mean, I've got it slammed and I'm just sitting on it. But I think, certainly for me, this would just be too much. Oh, jeez. I mean, it looks a bit crazy, but I think it's going to be worse than drop bars. Right, I'm just starting to try some just weird stuff. So this is obviously my stem adapter that I got that I was going to be used with the curly bars, and then this nice stem, looking not bad. But I've just come across this, which will probably fit into our colour scheme a wee bit better, and it's a bit shorter which would probably bring the bars towards the rider more and making it more upright. So I'm going to fire that on and see how that looks. Just wondering. Right, okay, so I've been playing around with this quite a bit, and I think actually, you know, I put the pedals on the bike just so I could sit on it properly, and you know what, I think it's going to be fine. It's kind of like as if we're harping back to, you know, kind of bikes, I don't know what sort of era it was, where they did have a kind of drop bar sort of idea. But it was a bit more straight off the stem and then down. So I'm kind of thinking about going with this, because my only other options now, I've kind of, unfortunately, the other bar is just not going to work. I am disappointed because I think this would have been massive fun. But the problem I've got with this is I just can't get brake levers to fit it. And yeah, this is just not going to happen, unfortunately, unless I can pull something out the bag, but I can't think what I can do. I would to put this on. This is not something I think the bike will get left with. I think this will just do this for the cheap bike build off, something a bit quirky, and then we kind of leave it at that. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to press on and get things like the brake levers, etc. on the front forks, and we're going to see how we go. Right, and this one will go on first. So we'll probably just go for the middle hole again, just so there's not too much. Oh, no, actually, I think we're going to have to go tops. And that just sprung out. That was interesting. A piece of my glove just went flying off there as well. Actually, I think, I wonder if we're missing some brake block spacers. What is going on? So that's definitely too much, too tight. Look at that. Doesn't seem too bad. What I was looking at there. Right, let's get this tightened up. Whoops, which should probably disappear into the fork. Right, let's just. I'm thinking I might have to move the spacers about on these brake blocks. Actually, hoping I'm not going to have another problem here though, because those brake blocks are high. I mean, they're all the way in their seat, but that just seems, I don't know if you can see that, but that block is all the way down on its slider. But I think what I might have to do, I think I'm going to have to take the brake block off and swap the spacers around. And we put the other cone washer, spacer, washer and nut. And what this will do is it'll mean the levers aren't going to have to go in as far. However, that may not actually cure our problem we've got here. Yeah, I don't think it is. I think we've got another problem. Oh my god, this is just been one absolute problem after the next. Why would, you know, I'm thinking, I find it hard to believe that these forks would be on a bike with a 27-inch, sorry, 27-inch, well, a 27.5-inch wheel. There's just no way. But, got a bit of gap, but that seems about normal. But those brake blocks are definitely too tall. I mean, I suppose it might just fit. Maybe I'm getting a little bit, but I should just nick it up and see how it goes. And I might just be, see, that's hitting the tyre. That really comes down along that edge. Oh. Okay, so that's the original brake lever, and this is the new one, and don't think there's, I mean, if there's something in it, it's marginal. Maybe that's a wee bit lower. Oh dear. Ah. Right, you know what, I'm going to take this off, try the old one. Right, I've checked now, and they're like identical whole. So the old originals aren't going to give me any advantage. There's just, it's got to be this fork. Hi guys, and welcome to another day on the build, and this is another day. I'll be honest, this build has definitely not gone to plan, and I've been going down one rabbit hole after the other with compatibility issues, with, you know, having an idea and then thinking you get 90% of the way there and then realizing it's just not going to work. Unfortunately, the original reverse bullhorn cut drop bar idea, that didn't work because the shifters wouldn't fit on. Then I had the crazy idea with the inverted raise bars. And yes, although that all fits on, I think we're just kind of bordering on a bit of nonsense. It just wouldn't be a practical bike, and I would end up just converting it. So I've been thinking long and hard about it, and I think between being different and actually being practical, I'm kind of looping back round, and I think I'm actually going to fit the original bars on. So these are the original bars, which are nice. Now, I know we were going for a bit of a black look, but I'm just kind of starting to think that, you know what, it isn't, I know we're kind of sort of leaning towards making a modern bike, but it isn't a modern bike. It's from like 1998. So I think we need a bit of a compromise. So the original bars were quite nice when they're sort of kind of the sort of Polish chrome idea. So what I've decided to do now, we have the stem adapter, which I can't do anything about that, and that is silver. So I nipped down the bike library and I managed to find this, I don't know if it's actually chrome and it just needs a polish or it's just silver, but it's basically sort of natural metal. So, and that fits on there perfectly, and the bars will go through there, no bother. And I'm kind of now thinking, this I think will be the direction that I'm going to go. So the bike will, it's going to stay practical. Now, one of the other issues I ran into when I was down the bike library one of the first times, I can't believe I've done this. I've managed to lose one of the shifters, the combined all-in-one shifter units. I don't know where they are. I mean, I've been down there 3 times now. It's not here, and it doesn't seem to be down there. Whether I dropped it in the car park or something, it's possible, but I can't find it. And I've had to make the kind of unfortunate decision to fit an alternative, which bugs me to high heaven, but there's nothing we can do, and I've got 1 day left. This is the 23rd, so, and it's Sunday, and entries have to be in on Tuesday, which is the 25th. Now, again, because we're in the UK, it was a time differential, so I need this done for, literally, I'm taking photographs and submitting them tomorrow. So I need to finish building it today. So I went down the library. The only thing I can find shifter-wise that's 7-speed are these Revo shifters. To be honest, they're fine. You know, they look clean and smart when they're on the bike. No, it wouldn't be my first choice, but you know what? I think it's going to be fine. I've got those, and I have got these brand new Tektro V-brakes as well, which are quite nice because they're black and silver. So I think that's all going to tie in with our black and silver theme. Now, I know originally I changed the derailleur, but again, it was a modern derailleur, and I kind of just felt they're like 10 a penny. So I had a rummage through the our accessory box, and I found this Shimano Dior XT derailleur. But what I like about it, it is actually black and polished metal. So that's kind of, you know, because I want to try and keep the 2-speed chainring we have on the front, and this kind of ties into that. So I've got that as well. This is the direction we're going in. So we're going to be taking some bits off, and then we're going to get this project moving forward because I need to get this done. Right, once again, we are going to get the chain broken. This is literally, what, the 3rd time or something? Fraction it was out. I always want a bit of pin sticking out, so when you come back to join it, boom, there you go. That stays in, and it should clip into place. Yeah, I just think this being like a modern shifter, it's just not. Yeah, I wasn't digging it. From day one when I fitted it, I don't know, I think that was one of the things where I just started thinking, this is not the direction I want to be going. So I'm much preferring putting this one on. And as I say, for one, it's obviously a high end, it's a Dior, but
I might actually change that one back to the original one, because I'm just thinking I'm going for the chrome and black look, but that's all black. We may as well, if we're kind of changing the whole theme a bit. We're going to have to get this on. We need to get moving. To say, I don't know, it's about 1 o'clock on today, and I say I want this completed today, and that way tomorrow, because I'm working at the bike library tomorrow, and I want to make sure we've got nice parallel. Nope, too far. There we go. So as I said earlier, leaving the pin out, it means I don't have to use the joining tool. I can just, see, it just clips back into place. Oh, now what I meant to do is put the chain on the other way around. Just want to get it, so, because the other problem is, well, when you're coming this way, you're trying to gauge how far that pin has gone in. Right, we're just going to do a quick cable change on the grip shifters. I may as well do that now rather than on the bars. There we go. Right, get the shifter into, there we go. That's what we're looking for. Just want to lever that up. Ideally, push that down at the same time, but that could be a bit fingers and thumbs. But you can see there, that's what we were trying to achieve. Okay, I can pull that out. And now we have a fresh cable. I'm going to drop some oil just to help guide it. Pull that through. Boom, there we go. And I just need to go. This one is a bit of a pain. Through there. Yeah. I think I might be. Oh no, we got it there. I thought it was possibly missing like a guide, but actually it's built in there. So that is that. What I'm going to do while I'm here, I'm just going to drop some oil into the workings, because we won't be coming back. Right. Get that wee white just in case. Go a wee clean while you can. Right. It's under there. It should all just snap back into place. There we go. Boom, shifter done. Right, let's get this into position now. I am going to need, yes, I need the brake on first. And then we're going to have, even when it's slack, oh, see, like that, I mean, it's just, yep, still tight. Right, right, I'm just going to come around and figure out, yeah, I think that's going to be an over the top situation. Might be able to get it in quite close, because the bar grip's going to be about there, so kind of want it right. Right, for side B. Right, bar grips with bar ends. Nothing exciting. I'm just literally using what I have now, because I honestly haven't looked at the budget and I don't know what we have or have left. It's just been an inevitable, you know what I mean. I lost the other one and I've got to do this one. But you know what, I kind of like the clean lines. This is a lovely clean line setup. So, you know, yeah, it's not the way I'd want to go, but I think it's not that bad. And the Revo ones are quite nice. Right, so these little pieces just appeared, and the reason is I actually forgot to put them on, so I just had to strip everything off and put it back on. But this was for the crossbar. Now, it was quite hammered by the sun, but if I turn it over, I think it's going to be fine, and it's just like a little feature. I just think it looked fun on the bike, so I'm definitely going to bolt this back on. I'll need to take my bar stabilizer off first, and hopefully, let's see how this works. It's just a blind nut, and I think these should be the nuts. It's a bit rusty, which we can do. get them on and then we can get it centralised. Oh, I don't believe it, I've put one on the wrong way. You know what, I'm not taking it all back off again. That will be a fix for another time. I should have watched out for that, but I didn't. See? Bashing along, carefree, fancy free. Careful, whatever it is. You know what, I know I'm going to be triggered by this bolt being on the wrong side, and I'm going to redo this. I know I am, but I just think that's a cool feature. And again, the yellow's obviously going to match into the bike nicely. I think I definitely need to reorganise these. They're a bit lopsided, but anyway, we'll come back to it at the end for that one. So it's cabling time. Now, I've raided the stores at the bike library. Unfortunately, there was just a tiny bit of purple left, but I got plenty yellow. So I'm going to kind of figure out. So this, I think this one, I might be wrong. No, I think that's shifter cable, this one. I thought that was brake. No, it's shifter. So I'm going to have to decide which one's going to get it. So there's going to be one purple one and the rest yellow. Or maybe I might just make them all yellow. I kind of thought maybe all yellow was going to be a wee bit too much and the purple would be nice. Although this doesn't quite match the purple on the bike. I might have a wee toy and see how we get on with this. Right, I'm going to start on the brakes first. Because that way, if I do the brakes first, I don't have to decide. Right, so I just want to measure that up there so I know I can go that way and go that way without wrecking something. There we go. Of course, once you have cut it, you've got to kind of check down to make sure there's no extra burrs. I think that cut quite cleanly, but what you definitely have to do is get yourself a wee skewer and get down into the hole so that the brake cable will come out freely. First one's first. I think we'll put the logo up at the top. Get out of the way and go there, and then do you see? I've done it again. Oh my god, I hope you guys were all like, "Wreck, you idiots." Now you see, actually, if you're in America, you will not think I was doing anything wrong because our brakes are on the other side. So you're probably now going, "Rick, you're putting that on the wrong side," but I'm actually not, because in the UK, we run it this side. And if you want to know why that is, apparently it was something to do with Napoleon. I was watching a documentary about it the other day. Just get our prodding stick out, make sure we've gotten this right. So yeah, anyway, yeah, Napoleon, it was to do with Napoleon being left-handed, and he wanted to ride on, now I gotta get this right, so if you're left-handed, you want to ride on the right-hand side, so your sword arm, your left sword arm is open. So it was, I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but it was something to do with that. And that can shift into there, see? All looking quite nice. Obviously, hopefully that will, I mean, once that's all pulled in, that's going to kind of pull it across. And I think that's actually going to be quite sleek. Now, as I said earlier, the problem I had with the original brakes, not the original ones, because these forks never had any, but the other ones I put on, is I couldn't get the brake levers low enough. So it looks like these forks had their own, I don't know whether accident or not, but almost like a proprietary size. And I managed to find a set. They're absolute crap. I mean, they're pressed steel. Although, I'll be honest with you, the adjuster screws and all that are actually quite nice. Yeah, when I eventually change everything out, these will definitely be getting swapped out. Yeah, it's just unfortunate. The original forks being cracked was just, to be honest with you, that's been devastating to the build. Okay, so I've got some used brake blocks, but they're in actually really good condition, so I don't have any problems with using these. Right, so what I'll do is I'll try small spacer on the inside to start with. Then we need coned washer, small spacer, washer, and nut. Right, let's just nick this up. We'll come back for fine tuning. I just want to get this up and out the way. As I said before, you don't actually need to put this on, but I don't know, I just kind of like the neatness of it. All the way in, otherwise it's going to be all the way in next time you whack the brakes. Onto along there to the slot. Take that out. Feed the beast. That's its new. Ooh, well, ooh, look at that. That's a lot of grease on here. No, I'm not sure which way. I think that came in from behind. In fact, of course, it'll go that way. The washer will need to go on one side. At least I think that's... No, that goes through the hole at the back. So that's front and back. That looks okay. Doesn't look a mess. So I'm still kind of left with my purple thing going on here. Yeah, so... yeah, we're going to need all the stuff we can get. So where it's going to be critical, Gen X, Boomer, you'll know what I'm talking about. Right, brought you around the front because that is where we are. I'll be honest with you, I think I might have blown quite a lot of budget on this purple stuff. I'll need to check the prices, but I got a feeling this small meter was something crazy. It's like £5 or £10 or something. So I'm really going to have to work hard to get everything else to fit into the budget. Oh my god, it's just everywhere. Blah. Oh, now watch when you're doing that, you don't get like a kink in the cable. That would be a disaster. Right, we're just going to get some lube. This is all going to get wrecked. Right, hopefully that's going to be able to, yeah, see that still sits in there okay. So when I get the outers, the adjuster sorted out, we should be fine. Right, there we go. It kind of looks, it's one of those things where folk will probably just go, yeah, what's with the one purple one? Which is kind of cool. It's kind of where you want it. Right, heading down the bike. Got to be honest, running cables and outers is probably my favourite job on a bike. I will not lie. I have to be honest, I think I just like everything. Right, I'm just going to slide the cable through here. Just making sure that that washer is in the correct position because there is a groove for the cable to run through. Now, remember earlier I did adjust the end stop of the derailleur. So again, I'm just kind of nicking it up. Right, while we're at the back, we'll just quickly tidy up these cables because things are really kind of where they need to be now. So we can get these all ticked off, otherwise I'll just end up forgetting. So, and we've got that end thing. Oops. Right, let's give the bike a wee going over some basic polish just to, you know, because I've been handling it and just want to get that shine back into its bones. Right, peeps, let's go handy cam. So, well, that was quite the roller coaster in the end. I have to say it was a lot more work. If I'd maybe just stuck to a more basic setup, it'd have been over a lot quicker. So for next time, let's get this thing sorted out. Yeah, the biggest pain was the forks. You can't really see it, but these are a really nice metallic purple now. You do see it when you're outside. I like them, I don't like them. The fact that they're cheap, I don't like them. If they were better quality, then I'd be all over it having a bit of front suspension on it. Obviously having to use crappy brake levers as well. I think these things might go on to be a bit of a pain. I can see all that getting swapped out. I do like my brake cables. I think the single purple one actually has come out quite well. It just gives that kind of purple line going down the frame. I quite like that. Obviously losing the shifters and having to swap them out. In some regards, I like the simpleness of the grip shifters. The Tektro brake levers go well with the bars, etc. But I mean, it it had shifters and brakes already, so that was a bit of a sod. I do like my stem. I was a bit reluctant to get rid of the original stem, but I do like this upgrade. The original one was just too faded to use, so that had to go. But I like this setup, and of course, that then bringing me back to the sort of polished metal look that we have now going. I actually do like that. We've gone back to that. The black, I like it and then I don't like it. So I think we've got the right amount of it. Obviously the wheels, and sorry, the tyres and that were just banging, and the fact that they were on the bike from standard is brilliant. The 2x drivetrain, definitely better looking than the original one. If I still had the original 3x on it, albeit it didn't look very good. And if we could have swapped the chain rings, I would have done, but we couldn't. This is okay, but you know, because it has got a bit of black hand metal going on, so that's okay. Obviously, we've got a nice pair of flat pedals. They're probably a little bit too modern for this bike from a liking, but it was the only thing that I had. And then moving to the back, I do like the new derailleur. I like the sort of mix between the two types of metal, two finishes. I think that has actually worked quite well into it. The yellow wall on the back wheel I think is really cool. It's a shame that it wasn't on the front as well. Might have been too much, so maybe the fact we've got a red one on the front is maybe not a bad thing. I would definitely like to have been able to get a better cassette for the back, or even upgraded to an 8-speed, although I did have an 8-speed and I tried to fit it and it just definitely wasn't going on, but I did not have the time to muck about with freewheel hubs, etc. Obviously, if I'd been able to use the original brakes, yes, they'd have been much better than the black ones. That's again another unfortunate thing. Obviously, the last minute seat's been quite a good thing, and I just noticed it's got Bomber written on the back, which I thought was a rally bike, was the Bomber. But that actually works quite well into the bike, and I do like that as well. Yeah, and of course we went back to the two-tone derailleur as well. Obviously there's a little bit of a conflict in performance going on here because we've got a 2-speed front end, but all the bits are 3-speed. So again, that's something I need to maybe come back. I can see myself either... What I would ultimately like to do with this bike is get a bigger range cassette on the back, convert it to a 1x. That's got to be the way to go. That is what I would like to do. And I would like to get a nice set of vintage front forks, which I did have, and I went and bloody recycled them because there was a bit missing. I cannot believe I did that. But I do overall, I just like this whole bike now. I love the colour. I do like actually the grip shifts. They're not great to use, but you know what? For the kind of riding this bike's going to get, it's going to be fine. Yes, it's my earliest convenience. I'll be getting rid of this front fork because it is truly appalling. But, you know, needs must. I spent the whole day at the bike library today. I literally couldn't find another set of forks of any kind that would work. So there you go. So this is my entry into the cheap bike build off. So probably by the time you're already watching this is going to be well, the voting will definitely have started, so I'm not quite sure. I'll leave a link because I think the way it's going to work, I'm not sure, but I think the way it's going to work is it's going to be an Instagram thing, and the guy who started the event, the mullet mechanic, I will link to his Instagram, and I assume what he's going to do is going to take all the pictures from that have been sent in from all the entries, and then he's going to share them on his Instagram, and it's just going to be a bottom line, whoever knows the most people probably, which is a sad state of affairs, but ultimately that's going to be it. The picture with the most likes is obviously going to get the golden biscuit. So what I'll do is, as soon as I know all this information, if I haven't already done it, but go down into the comments, and of course the cheap bike build off has been fantastic for me as a channel. It really kickstarted my channel. I've gotten so many views and subscribers on the back of this. If you haven't already subscribed, I would really appreciate it. I am very small time content creator, so getting all that would be awesome. So down in the comments you'll get the link for the Instagram and probably instructions how to do the voting. As soon as I know that, I'll put it all down there. And if you can give me a vote, if you've been along for the journey, which has been pretty hellish for me because I just don't know that much about bikes, I would very much appreciate your vote. So until the next video, I will bid you good night and thank you very much. Bye.